Welcome to our training on the experience side of things within Salesforce. So we're going over the resident experience page. We are on the contact page for our resident in apartment 200 here. You can see it right up top. We see our contact is Grandma Betty Smith. You see the apartment up top. You see the row score, which we'll get into in another video. You see the health at risk score here, whether they're at risk or not. And you can see lease end information up here as well. We're going to go section by section. Our first section is going to be on the apartment information. So this video is going to be specifically going over that. We've got a different video going over the assurance section as well as the at-risk section. So make sure you check those out on the YouTube page as well. So without any further ado, we are on Grandma Betty Smith. And you can see left to right, we've got the apartment section here first and foremost. So this is going to be where you're going to be spending most of your time in Salesforce. You can get to a contacts page by clicking on the resident link or the prospective resident's name from anywhere you see it basically in Salesforce. So it's the same thing that applies for the second residence if there is one. So you'll see hyperlinks within Salesforce similar to these here. They're underlined blue. If you hover over, there'll be some information. But then if you click in, it'll actually take you to that section, which is nice. So however you get to this page, this will take you to the contact apartment section first. So you'll see this here if we're going left to right. There are three subcategories essentially in the apartment. The first one is resident. First thing you'll see here is a photo of said resident. If the photo is in Yardi, it should be uploading automatically within here as long as everything's working correctly. If you need to, you have the ability to edit it. If you click into the pencil here as well, you can view the photo more up close or remove it from here as well if you've got the ability to do so. So if we scroll down a little bit under Grandma Betty, you'll see general information about the contact as well. So you'll see their name here. If you need to, you can edit any information. This is all coming from Salesforce and Yardi though, so it should be accurate by now. You'll see the physical move-in date, same thing. Anytime you see a little pencil like this, you can edit any of this info. Again, this shouldn't need to be edited. It should be coming in automatically for you. So this is just more so just checking up on things, making sure everything looks accurate for you. The phone number here, you can see underneath the relationship role to the primary resident. So if you hover here, it'll tell you. This is a little information help text. Wherever you see this, you have the ability to hover over and it'll tell you. So this is the person or the contact's relationship role to the primary resident. In this case, this is actually the primary resident. You'll see that it says primary resident. If it was a friend, it would say friend, son, daughter, it would specify that. If this person has a relationship role to the secondary resident, it would show here. Grandma doesn't have anything here, so we can click in here and edit it and say that she has a second resident and she is the spouse of said second resident. You can say partner, wife, whatever's on here. So we'll say she's the wife of the second resident here. You see the phone information at the bottom. There's two different fields for phone number. We have an email as well as a birth date here. And then there's a spot for the mailing information as well if you have it. This would come from Salesforce if it was there. You also have the ability to edit and update that if you have the information on hand as well. So again, pretty easy. It's just general information as well as a picture for said resident under the apartment and resident tab. The second tab you're going to see is the apartment tab. So funny here, you see apartments under apartments, but if you click in here, it'll give you some information on said apartment. So basically the type of apartment, the move-in date, the journey. A lot of this stuff is more so for us on the administrative side on the back end, but it's neat to be able to see some of the info like, who's living in it, what type of unit is it, that type of stuff. So you can see here the community, if this person's a current resident or not, the apartment name, move-in date. If they have a secondary resident, you'll see him here, him or her, I should say. You see Frank. I can click in. It'll take me to Frank's contact page. So like I was talking about, you can click anywhere you see a hyperlink to the person's name to take you there. The resident history tracker will just show you the resident history, what their rent amounts were, and whatever respective unit they've lived in. And then their apartment journey as well. Anywhere you see a view all, you can click in. It'll take you to their entire journey. So if you want to see more than just the last time. What's neat about Salesforce too is it'll pull up a new tab So when you're done, you can just exit out and it'll take you right back to where you were, which is cool. So instead of having to click the back button or doing anything like that, you can use the tabs that it provides for you. Okay. And then under apartment, the last and not least tab will be the resident contact section. The resident contact section will show you all the contacts associated to the contact at hand. In this situation, this contact is the actual resident. These are all of the contacts that are associated to this resident, though. So basically, this will show you anybody in addition to this resident, so emergency contacts, children, spouses, etc. There's an option to add new here, so you can add new ones, but then you can also see and edit the existing ones down here as well. So if you click in Fran here, you can edit. If you need to delete, you can. You can view them all again here by clicking there, but to add a new one, you would just click in here, and it'll basically ask you all the information associated to this contact. So their first name, their last name, what their relationship is to Grandma Betty, what their relationship is to the second resident, too, if there is one. So just because it's, Grandma Betty's son, it might not be Frank's son. Maybe it's a stepson, or just, he's got no relation to Frank, and you can put that in here. You can put notes in here. And then information about if they're the POA for, medical, financial, if they're a guardian, phone number information, email, mailing address, all that same type of information as before. And then you can also pick communication preferences if they have as well. And once you're done, you'll just click Save and Finish, and it'll save them as a contact along with everyone else. So that's the section on contacts, apartment. So you got the 3 tabs like we went over. So that's where, like I said, this contact page is where you're going to be spending most of the time. The apartment section we just went over here. We also have written documentation on that, so check it out. If you need help on the other 2 sections, please check out those videos.